The bouncer takes on the prince. And here he is, the bouncer. Simon Fitzsimmons winds up that big break of his. Oh, and that is flushed. He is a big boy and he's got a big break to go with it as well. When it is firing, it is such a weapon for him. You know, it's... when you see the power that goes through that one, you know, it's no surprise that he's put together, you know, runs that have gone deep in really, really massive tournaments, because when it's on song, he's just going to keep giving himself chances, and then the quality at the table can just show through. When you've got a bruising break like that, it's such a weapon.
And he's a rhythm player as well. Once he gets that break going, he tends to keep it going for long periods. He's streaky. He can run out. You know, you can see him just do crazy numbers of running him out, and you know, then you're thinking, when he does that, how is he not winning more tournaments? And he does have a great game. I think sometimes he's too aggressive. I've probably been that critical of a lot of players. And what I mean by that is sometimes he takes on finishes that he believes he can get there, when perhaps then the better play is to not try and get there. It means you have to get them or you're going to lose frames, but that's what he does when he wins tournaments or goes deep in tournaments. So it's tough to be too critical. And he's absolutely going to take these on, because these go. He's only got one problem ball essentially. The red, you see the cluster of three, the right hand one of the two together doesn't go, but the one on the cushion does.
Now.
But it'd be interesting to see how he plays it. It will slide by the yellow. I don't think he could play it off the yellow. He might try to, depends if, but it'd be interesting to see whether he tries to do anything else with that red at the same time. It needs to get right down there and have a look to see what he can do.
Yeah, you can see the plan. I mean, the red to the bottom right is such a lovely ball to connect to the 8 ball, so that part of the finish is routine. And he just needs to be able to see that really from anywhere at the top of the table, and it's game over. But these three, they need some working out.
I don't think he's got an angle. I thought he might try, if it's wide open, I thought he might leave an angle to screw into the red. But no, he's decided just to drop it in. Is he half a turn short of making sure of this? This is semi-blind. The cue ball's just running a little bit on him. Big shot.
Yeah, feels it.
You can see there, if he was a quarter of a turn more, how much easier this would have been. Yeah, and that quarter turn is everything on that shot.
Yeah, blind pocket into the middle, with, especially when it's actually sometimes more difficult when you're so close to your object ball when you've got a blind pocket, because it's difficult to spot the line.
It's really hard to pick out. Also, you can tell the way he played it, a little jabby one, he was quite close to it. He was worried about overrunning it. He was worried about the cue ball coming too far down off the left-hand cushion and snookering him on the one top left. So there was quite a bit going on in that shot alone.
So it's Joe Prince who's going to get an excellent opportunity in frame 1 to bite back. And when he first came to the table, yellows weren't particularly nice, but they look okay now. A few of the reds have cleared some traffic.
His last positional shot might be interesting. Does he leave a yellow down the table? Does he leave the one above the 8 ball guy? The reason I'm asking a question like that is that it's not necessarily going to make life easier for him. So does he get rid of both of these down the table and then back himself? Oh, we're not going to find out. That's a surprise. That's a big surprise.
Yeah, he was pretty quick on that, and I must say, I didn't think it was a pretty tight shot, but he seemed very relaxed about being able to play it. So I thought, well, maybe our cameras are slightly deceptive and this is easy. Or maybe it was, and he's played a terrible shot. It's sort of difficult to tell.
Yeah, I think just a slightly edgy first frame of the night kind of shot. Okay, it's blocked the pockets, but Fitzy would just be so pleased to get back to the table.
Oh, that's such a good shot.
Yeah. One more coming up, though. I think he's still going to go top right here. It's so hard to take this one bottom right and get top side of that red to right centre. So you just back yourself to make this one top right now.
Yes, take nothing with the cue ball.
Yeah,
just has to pop 2 balls here, and that's where I think Sai will land on his decision.
Yeah, almost drag it in and just kill the cue ball and let the red fall in. Make the pocket play big. I played it a little bit firmer than I thought he would, but that's normally Simon's way. He's normally a positive striker of the ball.
Yeah, pump it in. There's an excellent two-way combination shot from Cy Fitz on that red to the top left, which has really unlocked the frame for him and will be a confidence booster. Of that, there's no mistake. And the Mancunian goes one in front. Iffy moment there where he was half a roll out of position and just made his work really tough, and that's what brought Joe to the table. But that combination shot was a really classy touch, and that's the sort of thing that when you nail one of those, just gets you feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about how much Simon, when he gets on a roll, is tough to contain, and I was thinking when he had that ball into the right centre, if he gets that in, that could have been such a brilliant starter for him. Start with a big break and a break finish. The fact he was given a second opportunity even probably gives him even more confidence in a strange way, even though he missed in the frame, because he wasn't punished.
God, Prince through everything at that.
And I can tell you that is, we talked about his break that we've seen over the past 6 months in America, and that was not the break. He was doing it very differently. Actually lost the cue ball a little bit, but trying to square that front ball up with huge power.
Yeah, it really threw everything at that, did Joe Prince. Very good break and a very good opening chance. The 8 ball does go. It goes left centre. So with that being said, it's clear these reds at the bottom. Work your way up to the top.
The red middle of the 3 at the top's an interesting one. Does it pass to the top right with the other red in the way, or does he need to clear the other one first? So it's not really a problem if he has to take the one top right first, but this next shot becomes key. Almost get the cue ball in between the yellow in the middle of the table and the 8 ball, then you can play the right hand one of the 3 and track both the next 2 in the same shot. If you put the cue ball almost halfway between that 8 ball and the yellow.
Yeah, I like that.
If not, if the red at the top does pass to the top right, then you could almost play on the one on the cushion, and then you'd have a choice.
Oh, that's a poor shot.
I'm assuming he was playing the shot that I was suggesting and got it all wrong, because you wouldn't play for the one on the cushion with angle. He must have been trying to get a lot further across the table, another, what, 6-8 inches?
One thing that I wanted to ask you regarding Joe and his success over in the States is, you know, we've talked about it a lot before, transitioning between cue sports is hard, whether it be snooker to pool or, you know, American 8 ball to English 8 ball. It's, you know, we've seen plenty of very, very good players struggle with it, and is that the kind of shot where you might
completely
find that little bit of discrepancy?
Yes, but to be out by that far, I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying, but I mean, it's not as though he's got about a foot to play with there. You know, he really has got about a foot to play with, and you know, he's probably got a foot and a half to be in the window, but a foot to be nice in the window. So I think from that perspective, as much as it is tough, he knows he should have done a lot better there, and you could see by the way he was sort of indicating with his back arm that wasn't a case of misjudging it. That was almost didn't strike it as he wanted to, didn't get through the ball as he wanted to. Oh, Cy's disgusted with that positional shot. He absolutely did not want to be here. I think probably straight in on the one on the cushion was the plan, and he's probably going to reroute here. If he gets straight in on the one on the cushion, it is dot to dot. I mean, he can still take that ball, but the cue ball's, you know, moving, but also it's a harder pot. Yeah, pretty good recovery. Don't think he is, but if Cy was dead straight on the double, he'd take it, because Cy is so good at the doubles. He wouldn't think, oh, it's slightly risky. It's just a pot for him. but he isn't straight on it, and you'd lose the cue ball. So he's left it short again. I mean, he did have the natural to land on it, just under-hit it. I think it's one of those that he knows if he hits it too firm, he goes a little bit wider, and therefore into the yellow, which would have been no good. But both players struggling with their cue ball.
You can still get out here. Yellow to right centre. Just needs to find a line that avoids the reds. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, because he can kill this cue ball, and he's straight in on the 8-ball top right. This feels very similar to the opening frame. Same shot, opposite way round.
Absolutely drills it in. Well, an interesting first couple of frames here. Really is. Lot to sort of take apart from both players. It's been far from a vintage.
Yeah, I've been surprised more than anything with the way that Joe's gone, actually. Not, Sai's a phenomenal player, and just had a tough shot in the opening frame he got wrong. That's his mistake so far, and yeah, the cue ball was a little bit loose there, but it's not as though he's ever been flawless with his cue ball. He's not one of those players. He's a player that backs the potting over the cue ball all the time. But Joe just is, both frames, he's kind of, in his own mind, he's given away.
Yeah, could easily, and Joe Prince will think should easily
in his mind,
2-0 the other way.
Yeah, in his mind.
Another glimpse of the big boy bouncer break.
Oh, that was a mishit, if you can believe that. A big one. But look what the layout's got here.
Yeah, you can see why there's a head scratch from Fitz, because he doesn't quite get the cue ball right, which is why he's a little bit frustrated, but there's so much power still going on through that.
So this is the one for me. I'm so used to see Sai take them on literally wherever they land. He takes them on. I just don't think he should. I know that you can look at it and go, well, there's only one red and maybe the 8-ball. Well, both of them are major problems. They're not just problems. I am assuming the red doesn't pass the cluster of yellows on the 8-ball bottom left, but yeah, I don't think this is one to take on, especially when you're 2-0 up and 7.5 minutes to play.
Yeah, I think there's some merit to potting a red and taking the colour set. But you could definitely make a case right now for pulling back.
What I'm getting at is, if I'm Joe, yes, please, you keep going. 7.5 minutes left. If you get down close, you're just going to make this frame easy for me, and then I've got the break in with 2-1. That's how Joe will be thinking.
Oh, I tell you what, this goes left centre. That's a very clever shot.
I don't think it does. I really don't think this goes left centre. I agree, it's a clever shot. He's opened up the 8-ball. You've still got a really bad red.
Oh.
So he's having to play a long plant, awkward cue ball to get back out onto the next ball.
Well, I can't. Yeah, you can't make a justification for that shot if that red doesn't go to the left centre. Because this is such high tariff.
You can, because it's Simon Fitzsimmons and he takes them on from everywhere.
And he's got a habit of getting them as well.
Now if I'm Joe Prince in my chair, I'm cursing because I wanted him to go for it. But he now is in perfect position to get them. It's two brilliant shots on the trot.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm assuming the 8-ball now goes. He's essentially in position to get out.
Yeah, the cannon on the 8-ball was lovely, and yeah, you've got to say, but you can't believe the level of aggression to play that shot to land on that plant.
The plant on the cannon on the 8-ball was played in full knowledge that he was leaving the plant and nothing else. That was what makes it amazing for me.
That's some brass neck on the bouncer.
Still has to play half a shot just to get onto the 8-ball. The yellow nearest the red actually plays a little bit horrible here. If that yellow wasn't there, this would be no problem at all. You're just stunning it off the cushion, but that's the line you want to take. Now he's going to have to get a little bit deeper. He's in danger of being quite a long way from this 8-ball, and I don't think he's got the full pocket for it. Gets the little feather. Luckily he does come up just enough to have a shot at the 8-ball.
Not much room for Simon Fitzsimmons to play with here. But in it flies. 3-zip.
That is Simon Fitzsimmons, though. That is how he plays this game, and that's what makes him so enjoyable to watch.
Said it right at the top of the show. When he is on song, there are a few better players to watch play this game. He is so aggressive, so attacking, so brilliant.
But it's why players against him will feel like they've got a chance, though, because Sai's had to execute at a very high level throughout there. You know, other players,
and you can't always play at that high level.
And you can't always execute. And other players on the tour might have looked at that layout and gone, do you know what? I'm gonna match play here. I'm gonna slow it down. I'm gonna make it awkward. You know, and it may have panned out differently. No guarantees one way will work over the other. All I know is that Sai will always take him on. He's a very aggressive player.
Joe Prince has 5 minutes remaining to salvage something from this opening match. Race to 4, remember.
Whoa, jeez.
Oh,
that was so close to a golden duck as well. Yellow just misses the 8 ball, and if it flicks the 8 ball, the 8 goes in top right. Watch the 8 ball here, and the yellow that comes down.
Yeah, that was tight. Yeah, and he knew as well. He threw absolutely everything at it. Heaved into that break. And importantly, cue ball off the table is a more serious foul than scratching on the break. It grants you cue ball in hand anywhere on the table. It's a standard foul rather than scratching off the break, which is considered slightly less of an issue.
And this is pretty much ABC. No criticism here for Sai taking these on. These are about as good as it gets. This is the reward of making a brilliant finish in the previous frame. You kind of, as a pool player, you think like that out there. You're kind of thinking about, you know, I've just made a great one, you know, and then your opponent does that and you get a roadmap out.
It's amazing how often single frames multiply in this game.
You know, and we've talked a lot about Sai and his style of play, but let's not be too critical here. You know, he missed that one tricky ball into right centre and he got a few cue balls wrong.
Played really well in this match, yeah.
But he always got out when the cue ball wasn't quite where he wanted to be. You know, he's played a brilliant match.
Yeah, played really well. Looks confident, does the bouncer. And this is a lovely finish. 4-0. A perfect start for Simon Fitzsimmons. Less than ideal on Joe Prince's pro debut. Welcome to Big School, Joe. Plenty of time, though, for him to recover the situation tonight. For Simon Fitzsimmons, the perfect start as we await Megan Proctor next. And she's got John Chambers as her dance partner.
Monday Night Pool brought to you by ultimateleloans.co.uk.